Hello, I'm Zohra Moin, your English teacher from Gototrin. This is session 4 of level B1. زهره معین هستم، مدرس زبان انگلیسی از گوتوترین. جلسه 4 سطح B1 رو امروز شروع می‌کنیم. So far, we had simple present, we had food-related vocabulary, and we did our reading about eat and drink, but at the right time. Now let's continue with other tasks. Are you ready? Let's go. This is Mariana. Look at her picture. What do you think her job is? Very good. She's a chef. Now, Mariana is the head chef at Morito, a very popular restaurant in London. She was born in Greece. Her father was a fisherman, and with her mother, they ran a seafood restaurant, which is where Mariana spent most of her childhood. So, this is a background story about our chef, Mariana. All right? Now, before we start our listening, we take a good look at the questions. What are the questions? We have 5 questions. Number 1, what 3 things did Mariana do before becoming a chef in London? Number 2, what was her first connection with the restaurant Moro? Why did she go back to it later? Number 3, what happened 7 years later? How is her restaurant Morito different from Moro? How often does she go back to Crete? What happens when she has lunch with her old friends there? So these are the questions. How are the answers? Are you going to choose the answers or are you going to write the answers? Very good. قبلا بهتون گفتم چجوری لیسنینگ انجام بدین. اول اینستراکشنتون رو میخونین، بعد سوالتون رو میخونین که بفهمین کجای داستان قرار دارین. داستانتون ماجراش چیه؟ چه سوالایی رو قراره باهاش برخورد کنین و چطور قراره بهش جواب بدین؟ 4 گزینه‌ایه، جدول، matching features. What are they? Okay? Now, let's go and learn some really important vocabularies. Psychologist. Psychologist. It's a noun. It means an expert or a specialist in psychology. For example, psychologists are being called in to help employees cope with job losses. Psychologists help you to maintain your mental health, okay? Challenge is a noun, something new and difficult that requires great effort and determination, okay? که ما فارسیش هم داریم میگیم چالش. Yes? Good. I'm ready for a new challenge. Or challenge is needed for success. راست میگه دیگه. Next vocab is inspiration. بچه دقت کنید این تلفظش با فعلش فرق داره. Inspiration. Very good. Someone or something that gives you ideas for doing something. For example, I got my inspiration from an author. For example, Jane Austen. Jane Austen is a famous writer, okay? Very good. Incredibly. It's an adverb. It means extremely. Okay? She looked incredibly beautiful in a black evening gown. Yes? And then you will hear Crete. Crete was in the short backstory. Do you remember that? Very good. And you will hear it in the listening. It's an island in Greece. It's not a word. It's an island. Now, let's go back to our listening. Let's listen carefully and remember those questions. Are you ready? Let's go.
1.9 Part 2.
So, did you always want to be a chef, to have your own restaurant?
No, not at all. I wanted to be a psychologist. And when I was 18, I came to the UK to study at Kent University. Then I decided I didn't want to be a psychologist after all, and I went travelling for a bit. I'd saved some money at university because I worked in the evenings. I went all around Southern Europe and also to South America, to Ecuador. I tried all sorts of different dishes and fell in love with food again. So I went back to Crete and worked in our family restaurant for 2 years.
Why did you come back to the UK?
سلام، اینجا کانال یوتیوب اپلیکیشن گوتوترینه. شما قراره اینجا رایگان اونم با جدیت و کیفیت یک کلاس حضوری 12 تا زبان زنده دنیا رو یاد بگیریم. ما اینجا قراره هر روز یک قسمت از آموزش ها رو از سطح مبتدی تا پیشرفته برات آپلود بکنیم. اما اگه عجله داری همه دوره ها به علاوه کلی امکانات دیگه تو اپلیکیشن در دسترسه. آهان، اپلیکیشن رو میتونی از اپ استور، گوگل پلی، بازار و سایت خود گوتوترین دانلود کنی.
Well, I wanted to continue working as a chef, but I needed a bigger challenge. And when I was a student in the UK and I missed good food, I used to save money to go to London to have dinner in a restaurant called Morrow. It wasn't Greek food, but it was Mediterranean, Spanish, North African, and I loved it. So when I came back to London, I went to Morrow and I said, I want a job. And they gave me one.
And what happened then?
Well, really slowly, through hard work, and after 7 years, I became head chef. It was magic. And then the owners of Morrow, Samantha and Samuel Clark, suggested that I help them open Morito.
How is Morito different from Moro?
It's the same inspiration, and many of the dishes are similar, but because I run the kitchen, I have been able to have more Cretan dishes on the menu, dishes from my childhood. This week, for example, I'm making dakos, a Cretan salad made with fresh goat's cheese, tomato and bread.
Do you go back to Crete much?
Yes, I go to Crete maybe 4 or 5 times a year. My family's restaurant is closed now, but I go out for lunch with my friends, the people I miss when I'm in London. Food comes and we share everything. We always order too much, and by the end of it, we feel incredibly full.
Well, Mariana, it's been great talking with you, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, now, I suggest that you pause the video, listen again and again if you need to, and then go to the questions. You don't have to just listen once, all right? It's practicing, all right? Good job. Okay, now let's go over the questions. Did you write the answers? No? It's okay. It's okay. We're practicing. We are learning. If you answered at least 2 to 3 questions, that's really good. If not, you need more practice. Don't worry. You will get better. All right? Let's go. What 3 things did Mariana do before becoming a chef in London? Do you remember that? She studied psychology. Then she dropped out. She traveled around Europe, I think, and of course, South America. Then she went back to Crete and worked in the family restaurant. Question number 2. What was her first connection with the restaurant? Why did she go back to it later? The first connection would be when she was a student, she would go there and eat there. She was saving a lot of money. Then why? The reason is because she wanted a job. Question number 3. What happened 7 years later? She became a head chef. Very good. Number 4. How is her restaurant different from Morrow? It has more Cretan dishes on the menu. How often does she go back to Crete? 4 or 5 times a year she goes back to Crete. And what happens when she has lunch with her old friends? They share all the food and always order a lot of food. Too much, actually. Okay. The next slide contains the answers to the questions of your listening. Now, I have some questions for you. I need you to think and tell me, all right? What was your favorite food when you were a child?
جزوه‌های حین تدریس رو دیدی؟ چطور میتونی داشته باشیشون؟ همه این جزوات داخل اپلیکیشن موجوده و شما میتونید به راحتی دانلودشون بکنین و حین تدریس ازشون استفاده کنید. کاری که بچه زرنگا میکنن. همه این جزوات توسط اساتید دوره و با نظارت دقیق تیم گوتوترین تهیه و طراحی و تنظیم شدن و در اختیار شما قرار گرفتن. شما میتونید اپلیکیشن رو از اپ استور، گوگل پلی، بازار و یا وبسایت گوتوترین نصب کنید.
Let's begin with me. When I was a child, I loved فسنجون. It was my favorite food. What kinds of things did your mother or father cook? Do you still eat them? Of course. Yes, فسنجون. Of course, قرمه سبزی. And, زرش پلو با مرغ. Oh my God. Delicious, delicious. Do you have a favorite restaurant? I don't have a favorite restaurant. I have a favorite coffee shop. What do you like most about it? The food, the atmosphere, the service, or the price? Well, I love everything about it. The food is amazing, delicious. The drinks, coffee, tea, everything, amazing, delicious. And they smell so good. And of course, the atmosphere, friendly and respectful, amazing. And the price is okay. It's not very expensive. It's okay. It's okay. Now, look at this slide and the next slide. I have put the audio transcript. You can practice. One technique is listen and follow the lines with your eyes. It really helps you to get better at listening. It is one of the techniques. Now, we want to go for negation and making questions. All right? First negation. The simple sentence. I am teaching. Yes? All right? Now we want a negative form, right? Okay. Very good. I'm not teaching. Yes? Or, very good. I am not. فرقی نمیکنه همون. All right? Now, let's make a negative for this one. She is studying. She is not studying. یه not اینجا اضافه میکنی. یا she, very good, isn't studying. به همین سادگی. Alright? Now, let's make a question for each of these two examples. Alright? Let me clean this up. Very good. Okay. I am teaching. I want to make a yes-no question. Are you ready? All right. I am teaching. Very good. Are you teaching? We can change the subject here. Are you? Let's change it. Are you listening? Very good. I can say, no, I'm not. Or I can say, no, I'm teaching. Yes? Very good. Or I'm asking you, are you listening? Yes, we are. Or yes, I am. Okay? Yes, I am. All right? Now, I want to make a question for she is studying in her room. Okay, let me erase this part and make it. Very good. Now let's make a question for this one. She is studying. Okay. Very good. Is she studying? Yes, she is. Very good. حالا فرض کنین مثلا یه کار دیگه داره میکنه. No, she isn't. میتونیم اینو بگیم؟ بعد بگیم she is exercising یا she is working out. Or we can say no, she is listening to music. میتونیم دو مدلشو بگیم. No, she's listening to music. حالا اینو
چیزایی که گفتیم رو یاد گرفتی؟ خودت رو به چالش بکش. فقط کافیه یه سر به اپلیکیشن گوتوترین بزنی. آخر هر جلسه و دوره یه آزمون کاملا استاندارد مطابق با مطالب تدریسی طراحی شده تا خودت رو بسنجی. حتی میتونی پاسخ درست سوال‌ها رو هم ببینی تا مطمئن بشی همه چی خوب پیش میره. کافیه از اینجا اپلیکیشن رو دانلود کنی.
یاد گرفتیم. اوکی؟ اینو یاد گرفتیم. میخوایم information question بسازیم. چجوری؟ خب ما اینجا مثالمون چیه بچه ها؟ She is studying in her room. I can make questions with two WH questions. One, what? Two, where? Good job. For example, let's start with where. Okay, when I want to make a question with where, کدوم اطلاعاتم برام مهمه که بذارمش کنار؟ چون اون خود سوالمه. Good job, in her room. Now, is she very good studying? Where is she studying? Okay, she is studying in her room. حالا میخوام با what سوالی کنم. کدوم قسمت جملم؟ آها, very good. Studying. Studying is the part that I want to question. All right? What is she very good doing in her room? چی کار داره میکنه؟ Yes? Very good. Let's move to next page. This is a very important thing to know. Action and non-action verbs. ببین بچه‌ها ما دو سری فعل داریم. فعلایی که یک فعالیتی توشون داره مثل make، مثل cook. Okay? یه سری فعلا هستن توشون حالت رو بیان میکنه. For example, need, love. حالا اونایی که action verbs هستن ing میگیرن. continuous میشن. اما فعلایی که حالت رو بیان میکنن مثل need و love و like اینا دیگه ing نمیگیرن. ذاتشونه. Alright? In this page, I have given you some common non-action verbs. For example, agree, believe, belong, depend, forget, and so on. Also, the verbs that there are senses in them. For example, look, smell, taste, and sound. These are also non-action verbs. بچه ها اینجا صفحه بعد next page and the page after that are some very important exercises please practice and have a lot of fun with them. Also, the writing activity is in 5 to 8 sentences, write about your friend's routine. For example, she gets up at 8 o'clock. She has breakfast at 10. She works out at 11. She goes to work at, for example, 1 p.m. Okay, now, then I want you to describe your surroundings. What are the people around you doing? What are you doing? For example, I am writing, my mom is cooking, my dad is reading a book, my sister is studying in her room و غیره و غیره. اشکالی نداره که از تخیلتون استفاده کنین. Just lie, okay? So far we learned about simple present, continuous, some words about cooking. We had a listening and reading about food, and we had a lot of fun. Have a great session.